This is marriage wisdom for those who want a long marriage. One thing people rarely talk about openly is why some couples divorce after 20, 30, or even 40 years of marriage. From the outside, it can feel shocking. People say things like, "They were together forever. What happened? How do you stay married that long and then suddenly separate?" But if you listen closely to many of those stories, a pattern begins to appear. And that pattern is resentment. Not loud resentment, not dramatic resentment, quiet resentment. Resentment that slowly built over years without being addressed. Because resentment rarely begins with one big event. Most of the time, it begins with small moments. Moments where someone felt dismissed. Moments where someone felt unheard. Moments where someone felt unappreciated. And instead of addressing those moments honestly, people swallow them. They don't want conflict. They don't want tension. They think it's easier to just move forward. But swallowed emotions don't disappear. They settle. And when those moments repeat over time, resentment begins growing quietly underneath the relationship. One of the deepest roots of resentment in marriage is feeling unseen. Feeling like your effort goes unnoticed. Feeling like your presence is expected but not appreciated. Feeling like what you contribute to the relationship doesn't matter. Appreciation is emotional oxygen in long marriages. When people feel appreciated, effort feels meaningful. But when appreciation disappears, effort begins feeling invisible. And when someone feels invisible long enough, resentment begins quietly growing inside them. I recently heard a man speak about his marriage. He said he had been married for 45 years. 45 years. And eventually he divorced when he was 69. Now, when people hear something like that, they assume something dramatic must have happened. But he said something very interesting. He said they never argued. His wife cooked, she kept the house clean, she kept his clothes washed. From the outside, everything looked normal. But he said something was missing. He said he felt invisible in his own home. He felt unheard, and he felt disrespected. Not loud disrespect, quiet disrespect. The kind where your voice carries no weight. The kind where your opinions are dismissed. The kind where your presence feels unvalued. And he said carrying those feelings for decades nearly broke him emotionally. This is something younger couples need to understand. Many marriages do not collapse from sudden events. They collapse from long-term emotional erosion. Small moments repeated over time. Moments where someone felt dismissed. Moments where someone felt unseen. Moments where something should have been addressed but wasn't. When those moments accumulate long enough, resentment begins growing beneath the surface. Once resentment grows strong enough, something else begins forming: emotional distance. Two people may still live in the same house, still handle responsibilities, still function together, but emotionally, something has shifted. Warmth fades, patience decreases, respect becomes inconsistent, and the relationship slowly begins feeling colder. Not hostile, just distant. One of the most dangerous stages in marriage is emotional silence. Not yelling, not arguing, silence. Silence can look peaceful from the outside, but sometimes silence means someone stopped believing their voice matters. They stop explaining how they feel. They stop bringing up concerns. They stop asking for change. Not because the issue disappeared, but because they stopped believing anything would change. And that is where resentment quietly grows. The way to protect a marriage from resentment is not perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. The protection comes from awareness, awareness of tone, awareness of respect, awareness of emotional needs. Because every marriage has an emotional climate. Some homes feel warm. Some homes feel tense. Some homes feel peaceful. Some homes feel heavy. That climate is created by daily behavior, daily tone, daily responses, daily respect. There is another reason resentment becomes dangerous in long marriages. Time hides it. Couples continue doing life together. They wake up, they go to work, they cook meals, they handle responsibilities. From the outside, everything looks stable. But routines can sometimes hide emotional distance. Two people may still be living together, but internally, something has shifted. Someone may feel unheard. Someone may feel unappreciated. Someone may feel invisible. And because life keeps moving forward, those feelings are often pushed aside instead of addressed. Years can pass that way. Everything appears normal, but internally, resentment is slowly growing. That is why emotional awareness matters in long marriages, because resentment rarely announces itself loudly. It grows quietly in the background. It grows when conversations are avoided. It grows when feelings are dismissed. It grows when appreciation disappears. Addressing small hurts early protects a marriage from carrying emotional weight for decades. Resentment rarely begins with one dramatic moment. It begins with moments that were never addressed. Moments where someone felt unseen. Moments where disappointment was buried. Moments where silence replaced honesty. Over time, those moments shape the emotional direction of a marriage. That is why awareness matters. Because long marriages are not protected by time alone. They are protected by honesty. They are protected by discipline. They are protected by care. And that is how long marriages are built.